101.3 Nigeria Info.
Morning, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Digest with Jimi Disu. Today is one of those days that we're going to look at what a relatively young person is doing. I'm not going to ask him his age, but he's young enough to be termed as a youth. Or shall we call him a big youth? You remember we had a party that had a 60-year-old as his youth leader. I'm glad to introduce to you George Manix Oruapa. Did I get that right? Yes, I did. Who is in the estate business. I'm meeting him for the first time. I spoke to him on the phone. I had an assignment for him. Spoke to him on the phone. I was happy with his presentation. I was happy with his demeanor, which a lot of people lack, I must say. And I said to myself, let me probe this young man further. And then I invited him here so that we can hear his story. Like Sheriff and I said this morning to young people, there are people out there who are not sitting down to grumble day and night and blame. It's your generation that caused it. So what? My generation has caused it. So what do you want to do? Sit back till you now cause something else for your own generation? You know? So let's I want to say we young people, but you young people, I'd like to encourage you. Develop yourself. Things are bad. They're bad all over the world. If you want a true story of Japa, I will tell you that 9 cases out of 10 Japas end in failure. Yes, okay, let me just say 7.5. Failure in the sense that so you Japa now and finally you get a job to wash the toilet or whatever. If you're not careful, you could do that all your life till you become a full-grown adult. Those kind of jobs that have no promotion, nothing. So, learn to develop yourselves. You'll have to switch off that phone so we don't get any interference, okay? You're on YouTube and Facebook, so your fans can go to YouTube and Facebook and see that. So, George, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Uncle Jimi Disu.
Nice meeting you this morning.
It's a pleasure, sir.
You used to work here before, right?
Yeah, TV.
TV?
Yes.
What were you doing?
I was a cameraman.
Really?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And what did you study?
Media. So,
where did you study?
Polytechnic Ibadan, mass
yes.
communication. Then I did a course in Pan-Atlantic University. Then Pan-African University. Media as well.
How did you end up in properties?
Okay, so it's just, I stumbled on it. A friend who sells properties, a realtor. So she came in and then she was like...
She?
Yeah, she.
Sheriff Abu, right?
her name is Joyce, in case she's listening. She introduced me to real estate. Yes, and then she was like,
why did she introduce you to?
Okay, so I'm a colleague to her brother. She's a twin. His name is Ogbolo, also a popular comedian. So
Ogbolo. She
came to see him, and then of course we got talking, and then she told me about it, and that was it.
Did you necessarily become an item through that?
Not at all.
Just to clear the
she's way older.
The age is not. Age doesn't matter.
I'm just trying to clear it since you said.
No. Age is not an excuse.
So she told me about it, and I'm like, okay, there's something here.
She was in properties, right?
Yeah, she's still in property. She's still a realtor. So
is she trained?
Yes, she is.
So did you have to train under her?
Yes, I had to.
Some kind of apprenticeship?
Yes.
It took how long?
Well, quite short. I think. You never outgrow it because
you
keep studying, you keep learning about the industry, visiting sites.
Before you met her, were you thinking of leaving the media business?
I've not left the media.
You still do?
Yes, I still have productions. I have productions I handle myself, and I still, in fact, before I became a realtor, I was producing ads for real estate companies. So that was even how I got in.
So okay, 2 get 4. Like do you speak a bit of Yoruba?
No,
okay.
But I'm Lagos born, but I don't speak much.
Are you a Lagosian?
Yes, through Larry boy. Aguda to be precise.
This is your fellow language. the two of you, I'm going to report you to the Oba of Lagos. He will throw you in the river.
Born and bred in Lagos.
So you know what I mean by I said 2, gay 4. Okay, so essentially, so you're multi professional.
Yes.
That's very common these days. Jokes apart. Believe you me, also I've tried to build a house once. Yes, I tried to. At least I was at that time running a construction company. Believe you me, and we were able to do 1 or 2 things. So if Emmanuel Coker is listening now, he will probably be. But that's a story for another day. Those were the days of politics. So now, which you find more lucrative, properties or
media?
Or media?
Real estate.
Real estate.
Yeah, real estate.
Are you more into selling or letting?
I do more of sales.
Sales.
Yes.
Because that's a one-off. Once you've sold it, that is it. Once you've sold, do you have a lawyer attached to you?
Yeah. So I not just a lawyer, surveyor as well.
So you form a kind of consortium.
Exactly. So
you have a lawyer, surveyor,
and realtors. It's
who is a realtor really?
A realtor is like a front soldier, a marketer, a broker for a developer or a landlord in other terms. So we are the ones that broker deals for the developers from the tenants to be.
This thing is becoming very complex now.
Okay. So
who is the estate agent in all this?
So estate agent is a realtor.
So let's use estate agent so that people will understand. Because when you talk about realtor,
yes,
it sounds like a provost in a church. And say somebody is a realtor. What are you doing? That's me. when you say somebody is a realtor,
yes,
it sounds like this.
Okay, so why we don't like to address ourselves as estate agents is
go on.
So realtors are more professional. So the way your doctor, your lawyer is to you, that is how a realtor is to you in real estate. So we don't call ourselves agents.
Oh, you don't call yourself?
You don't. Yes, because there is more attached to it.
Estate agent has been given a very bad name in town. You know, all kinds of things happen. You have about 10, 15, 20 estate agents on one property. And so what does that do is hike up the prices of both sold and
very
rent.
True.
Very true. And in fact, it's becoming worrying. We don't seem to have, we don't know the parameters that determine rent or the parameters that determine the value of houses. It seems to be arbitrary. You want to sell a house, you just call the agent. Fred, I have this house. How much do you think I can get? In your area now is between this and this. You fix your own price and you sit back and wait. How do you determine the prices of these houses? Do you have a clear understanding of that? Can you explain to us?
Oh, okay, you're very right on that. And that's one of the reasons why we are trying to bring sanity. So when I say
who are we now? Yeah.
They're the realtors. Okay. So that's when you see a realtor. I like the fact that thank you for saying that I was able to engage you well. So that is part of what our job is.
That's why you're here.
Thank you. So an agent may not be able to engage you the way I did. They are not that trained.
Are you trained as a realtor?
Yes, I am.
Are you certified?
Yes, I am.
I see. You do exams for that?
Not exams, trainings. So there are courses.
Oh,
I belong.
I see.
Yes, I belong to one of the largest real estate companies, a brokerage companies in Nigeria. It's called Billionaire Realtors Group. So
Billionaire
Realtors Group.
Well, are they?
Yes. So we have trainings it's an academy. We have an academy that trains realtors.
Are you serious?
Yes. So we have an academy that trains realtors like me. 2 weeks, 3 weeks training courses, and you have advanced
online
physical training. Yes.
Who put that together?
So it's a business person like me, a developer as well. A developer,
okay.
A real estate brokerage firm. He put it up, and this is where most of us get trained. So
you see the way life is now. When you are coming here, I didn't know this was going to surface. How can anybody get access to this training? Is it you can Google it?
It's in the open. So if you follow Billionaire Realtors Group right now, we're having one in this March. So it's every year there's a training.
And you get certified.
You get certified, though it's not free.
It's
not free. So it's paid for.
Jami, about how much?
$500,000.
Yeah, to train yourself.
Yes, $500,000
for a lifetime.
And they bring all sorts. So you bring lawyers, they bring surveyors, they bring developers, they bring Lagos State officials.
Really?
Yeah, so it's a whole lot.
So you're recognized by government?
Yes, we are. There's an arm called Lastrera, so most of us belong to that group.
And you're registered?
Yes.
But there are loads. How do you know it? How do you know it's certified realtor?
So by engaging someone, few minutes, you should be able to tell.
Well, within few minutes, I think I was happy with the way you conducted yourself.
You should be able to tell.
Yeah.
And from the terminologies, the way the person... So we call ourselves real estate consultants. That is what I am. That is why I said we don't...
So, for example, will a realtor charge you for inspection?
Yes.
About how much is it?
It varies. So it's determined by the realtor. So you can go from 5K to 15 to 20. It depends on the realtor. And also, some people don't charge, like I don't charge. I take you to a house for free. Then, when the deal is done, I get my commission from...
So when you want to sell, if you are going to sell a house, if you are given a house to sell, say, look, George, I want you to sell this house. What do you charge?
5%. So 5% from the tenant or the buyer. 5% from...
I said so it's the seller that I'm talking about now.
Okay.
If he says that, okay, I want you to sell this house, what do you charge?
5%.
From the... What about the buyer?
From the buyer, 5% as well.
So combined,
so 10%.
That's 10%.
Yes.
Then the lawyer gets what?
The lawyer is different. They have their own deal with the seller. It's none of...
So if you're going to rent out a house, you will take 5% from the buyer, from the tenant.
It's 10% to rent.
To rent.
Yes, rental is 10%. Purchase is 5%.
Do you fall into any clash with the proper estate surveyor?
Not at all.
Or do your roles clash at all?
Our roles don't clash. So, in fact, the surveyor is our best friend as a realtor developer because they are the ones that help us certify if the land you're about to buy or you're about to sell is genuine or not. So, before I sell a land or I sell a house, I get a surveyor to help me chart it. So, chart it, go to the Ministry of Land, and make sure that it doesn't fall into government encumbrance and it's not government under government acquisition. So,
do you have a basic educational qualification to go on to become a realtor? Or if you have a stand 6 and you can speak 20, you could always...
It's an open market.
It's an open market.
Yes, it is. So
a lot of survival there depends on your skills.
Definitely.
What are the principles with which you do business?
So I will personally, it's more of
to help other people.
To help other people.
Yes.
Okay, to help other people.
What I mean by
the
principles, I want you to tell us the principles so that other people that listen out there can learn from it. For example, okay, let me tell you this. When I approached you, your language was clear. What you said was explicit. I could deduct a sense of honesty from you were very open. A lot of people in this business, we find too many people say, more into properties and now into properties. The first sentence that comes from them, you will know there's something wrong. Okay, they're usually dodgy, but you are open, you are clear, and that's why you're sitting down in this chair. Yeah, people must know that I met you on the job.
Okay. Now I get.
So what are those principles that guide you?
So first, you must have that product knowledge.
Yes.
So you should be able to advise a tenant, a would-be tenant or a would-be landlord, point them in the right direction, because you are supposed to know better. So our job is not just to sell and collect commission. Your job goes beyond that. Educate this person. Tell this person this is actually the direction people are going. Go this way.
Do you go the extra mile to be sure of what you're selling? Because there's a lot of fraudulent practices going on.
Yes.
So do you do your own due diligence?
Yes, that's where the surveyor I talked about earlier come in. So we are partners. We don't clash. So a surveyor.
So can you be held responsible if I bought a property from you, for example, and it turned out to be, let's use a general word, fake? And maybe that's not the real owner, or it's under litigation. You would have done your homework. You put your own reputation on it. Is that what you're saying?
So it's
or is caveat emptor? The owner has to go and do the due diligence, his or herself.
So we are the middlemen between the buyer and the seller.
Yes.
So after we've introduced a buyer to the seller,
yes,
the seller has provided all documents necessary for the buyer
that you have vetted,
and the buyer has vetted. So I'm not the one.
Wait.
Okay.
Don't jump the gun.
All right.
The seller approaching you,
yes,
believes that you have vetted.
Yes.
Can you be held responsible if something?
No, I can't be held responsible because I'm not the one signing the document.
But you are the facilitator.
It doesn't make me liable because, of course, you also you as a buyer you have
what I'm trying to establish is,
yes,
I wish we could have a clearinghouse for all this.
Okay.
Where, for example, if you go to a firm, estate surveyor's firm,
yes,
Fatimi Leyi, Jide Taiwo, if you go to any of these ones,
yes,
even though I will still do my due diligence, but I expect that to be far gone before I ever get there.
Oh, very true.
You do.
I do as well. So part of what I do is I'm also not just selling every property I see. I'm very selective. I choose a particular property I sell based on the trust I have for the company, the developer, and also the documents that comes with it, which I know I must have confirmed and be certified that this is actually a genuine document. So that is my basis for choosing what to actually push.
Okay, it's a Daily Digest. We still have George Mannix Uruapa, Abi?
You're very correct.
And he's the founder, CMA, CEO.
GMX Homes.
GMX Homes. George Mannix Homes. Let me run a quick commercial for him.
Thank you very much.
Well, you better be careful. They're very, very wild down there marketing. But okay, our lines are open 020127709993, and the female line is 020146579190. It's the Daily Digest with Jimi Disu. Today is the day where we focus on up and coming young people to serve as an example, to tell you the various opportunities that exist for you out there as young people. And I'm happy to be associated with George Mannix. I'm very, very happy. That's why he's sitting in this seat here. Let's take our first caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, morning.
Morning, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Paul from Nicosia.
Yes, sir. Speak up, please.
Yeah, I want to find out how much will it cost somebody to undergo that training.
He already said it, sir. We can't, there's a limit to which we can keep repeating things like that. Let's take another caller. Please, if you miss anything, you can always go back to YouTube to check. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. My name is Ginga, calling from Senegal.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I want to commend the young guy for what he's doing.
Yes, sir.
But I just want to note a correction. The rate in Nigeria is the one that has been certified by those that real estate management.
Management. Okay.
Yes, and the fact that he went to an academy doesn't really make him there is a regulatory body that certify rector in Nigeria. That's just the point I want to
Okay, do you hear him? Okay, can you quickly react in 1 minute, please?
Yeah, like I said, the certificate course I did was for my own personal growth.
Development.
And
but are you breaking the law, though?
No, I'm not.
From what he's saying?
I'm not.
You're not?
Yes. So as far as we are concerned right now, I'm not breaking any law being
Have you tested it? Have you actually asked those concerned?
Yes. I'm very much in the middle of the...
Okay.
In the industry. So
we'll take a short break and then we'll be right back.
Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
Halilas, Ramadan Kareem. Ramadan Kareem to you to Hajia. I see you're doing a little shopping.
Yes, so you know Ramadan is a time to nourish our spirit, minds, and bodies. And I'm stocking up on Bonvita to share with my family and friends so we can all win every day this Ramadan.
I came here for the same reason.
This Ramadan, walk into any store and buy the 450-gram pack of Bonvita today to enjoy 50-gram extra for free. Promo valid while stock lasts. Terms and conditions apply. Bonvita. Prepare them to win every day.
To make fun of our tooth gap, let's have a talk. Colgate makes your teeth so strong. Stop cover your mouth. Not to do younger with your smile. Brush your teeth with Colgate. Zero cavities and fresh breath. If you use a Colgate paste. Not to do younger with your smile. Brush your teeth with Colgate. Colgate, #1 oral care brand in the world.
Mama, are you hungry?
Yes, my pikin. Oh, yeah, go change. Make you come chop.
My children are my life, but I know say they need to eat well to do well. Since I discovered Maggi soya chunks, so add protein to my food, don't they easy?
Now, I know they worry whether them get protein for food, because with Maggi soya chunks, I fit give them protein for food.
Protein every day for my family.
The holy month of Ramadan is upon us. As we embark on this journey, let's not forget to show love through sharing. This Ramadan, stay ahead with daily power from Suhoor to Iftar. Join us every Monday to Friday as we explore the spiritual and physical benefits of the month, plus exciting recipes. Catch us on our YouTube page, Hollandia Dairy Nigeria, and on Dadin Kowa, Faranwata, Sunna TV, Arewa TV, and African Magic Hausa TV stations. Ramadan Mubarak from Hollandia.
When it comes to your business goals, you need an ally.
We have changed our name from Personal Trust to First Ally Trust Microfinance Bank, but our commitment to you and your aspirations hasn't changed. For more details, visit first-allimfb.com or any of our key branches at Jibu, Surulere, Bariga, and Sandgrass. First Ally Trust Microfinance Bank, always on your side.
Life is always full of wahala, but there is music, passion, feelings, and good vibes. Take a ride with InDrive app to get there on your own terms. You decide what your life will be full of and choose a fair price for this ride. InDrive, the InDrive online passenger transportation aggregator, is not a taxi service. Find more information at www.indrive.com.
Start your children's day with a great taste of Ovaltine, enriched with multi-nourishment, calcium, malt, and vitamin B12 to support learning and playtime. Ovaltine, smart choice for smart kids.
Are you ready to own your own house? The federal government, through the Ministry of Finance Incorporated, is making it easy for every Nigerian to own a house. The Ministry of Finance Incorporated Real Estate Investment Fund, MREIF, is a 1 trillion naira government-backed initiative designed to provide affordable, long-term mortgage financing for home buyers across Nigeria, with low-interest mortgages and repayment periods of up to 20 years. Act now. Visit mreif.arm.com.ng to learn more or email us at mreif@arm.com.ng. The door to home ownership is open. Don't miss this opportunity.
The new improved Bobo Yogurt, chai special and favorite drink, now comes in a new improved better form with much more value. The Bobo Yogurt. It is creamier, smoother, yummier, and tastier. Also rich in probiotics and minerals, and comes in a whole new 180 ml blue bottle. And of course, your Bobo milk drink continues to shine brighter in its apple, vanilla, and orange flavors to make your children bright, sharp. Products of Bobo Fruits and Beverages.
Hey, here's a question for you. What gets you out of bed in the morning? Is it the sunrise? The sound of your alarm? No, it's that dream, that drive, that unstoppable force inside you. And you know what fuels that drive? It's starting your day strong with the rich, creamy taste of Nescafe Original 3-in-1, carefully crafted from selected coffee beans. So, whatever your hustle, go from maybe or I can't to I can and I will. Nescafe Original 3-in-1. Start strong, finish strong.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
You're listening to Jimi Disu, right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Okay, if you go to Sheriff's Instagram handle, you will see what we were talking about when we were on break. I'm glad not much of it has leaked out. But if you go to Sheriff's handle, we were freer than when we were there. So we are back, and I still have
George Mannix.
George Mannix. I still have my good friend George Mannix, and I was telling him how I'm not inclined to have anything to do with the estate business. He was trying to convince me that that's why they are there. They can handle leads. They can do this. They can do that. And I told him I don't have the temperament, unless it's going to be, in a highbrow area, and I can let out the house to establishment, because tenants constitute sometimes a lot of damage to houses, far more than the rent that is paid. That is my belief.
Man, that's why we have caution fee now.
Caution fee. Sometimes the damage is 10 times more than the caution fee. You know now, because in any case, part of the dilemma you have is that the materials used for building itself have become so fragile. So you'll be changing door locks, you'll be changing taps, they'll be getting rusty, and that is really, for me, like I said, unless it's a highbrow area. Sheriff says he'll be kind enough to arrange for me for my birthday, and I might get a house in Ikoyi. That would be nice, and I can rent it out to an establishment. But individual tenants, sometimes Nigerians can wreck a building. By the time you let out a house, 2 years, you come back to the house, you'll be amazed what do you get? Doors broken, taps gone, electricals off, water seeping through the walls. Surely you know that.
That's sadly that's the reality.
That's the reality. So I don't have the temperament for all that. You can ask Sheriff. Anything I handle comes out. Even the cars that I buy, when I sell them, I use a car for a year and sell them. I usually sell them more than how much I bought them. Keep them nice. But we don't have that culture. I wanted to add one other thing that I handle well, but I don't. For looking at me.
Why is my mind telling me?
Don't do that. I should reserve that for those. But
for the night show.
But jokes apart, you must agree with me that it's worrying that we don't have that caring attitude towards other people's property.
That's very true.
It's been made more difficult because the standards of things that you put in houses themselves has fallen. The door locks. I remember my uncle's house in Adam Street, Chief Shuamimo. The ceiling fan that was installed in 1962 when the house was built is still there standing. A lot of the door locks haven't changed. God, please forgive me for some of the locks that we picked when we were children in the house. But a lot of the door locks are there, the fittings are there. But with what you have, it makes it difficult. So how do you go about that? Is it a caution fee?
Yes. A caution fee applies for that damage. And also, people are beginning to understand now that whenever they incur or when they cause damages, their caution fee is gone. So some houses take as much as 500K, 1 million for caution fee. So by the time you think of
is it ever refunded?
Yes, it is. There's an agreement.
Okay.
The landlord.
The landlord holds it.
Yes, the landlord holds it. There's an agreement signed to that effect. So when you're leaving the house, your 1 million or 500 is refunded to you.
Okay, educate my listeners. What is the liability of a landlord to a tenant in terms of building maintenance?
I think basically it should be the major fittings in the house.
What are major fittings?
So when you say probably water is coming out from the tiles.
Yes.
That should be the landlord's problem.
Structural.
Yes.
So structural problem.
That should be the landlord's problem.
What about door locks and light fittings falling off? Is it landlord? Leaking roofs? That's structural.
Yeah, that's structural as well. That's for the landlord.
Water in the wall.
Water in the wall. Those are major repairs that a tenant shouldn't handle, except by option. If I decide to do it for my own convenience, then I can do it.
What about issues of pumping machine and all
those? Those are tenants' issues. Security.
Are these things well stated in agreement? I haven't been a tenant for. No, what am I saying? I was a tenant. I was a tenant in the Odiru here for a while. But all that didn't.
So they are stated, yes.
They are stated.
Whether verbal or written. It depends, because sometimes.
Well, you want to advise my listeners that things should be well written and well documented.
Yes, it should. So that in case one person decides
because
not
you see, part of the problem you have is that litigation takes forever. How long does it take to chase the tenant who hasn't been paying? How long does it cost in Lagos now?
It depends on who pays the lawyer more.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, because of the situation we are in. So whoever has, so it's not a funny. It's not a funny.
Some of my friends who are landlords.
It's not a funny issue. It's not a funny issue.
Well, some of the friends that I have on my titile body.
If the tenant is a very stubborn person that is well connected, they might be there in your house for 5 years,
if you go
enjoying free rent.
If you are issued as a tenant, you will leave. You will.
They remove your roof. You just come back.
My friend is just laughing where he is now.
You come back and you see your roof is gone.
He's a high chief. He won't because that's one of the reasons why.
Yeah, the risks.
I've been very reluctant to get. Do we have rent tribunals now? I don't think so. You still have to go to the High Court.
We don't.
Or if you can go to the People's Court. I mean, what's Judge Fumi's Court? You can go there.
There are actually laws, Lagos state laws, and all that these things are stated.
What in Nigeria laws are meant to be broken. That's what we set up laws to do. There's no law and other. It will take forever.
One example
okay. Who is the longest serving tenant that you know, whose case is in court, and has been living in the house till date? I'm sure you'll have those who have lived in houses up to 6 years. and they're still going back and forth, adjournment, appeal, you know.
So everything rises and falls on the government. For me, I think the government has to come in properly based on
the government has.
For example, the 2 years rental thing, it shouldn't exist. 1 year is even a lot. It should be monthly. Then we've left monthly. We are now on yearly. Then people are doing 2 years.
I think what is of greater importance is what should determine the increase. It shouldn't be arbitrary. It shouldn't be a case of Baba landlord saying, well, George, when your daddy comes, tell him to come upstairs to come and see me. And then George now goes downstairs to meet his wife. Baba landlord has said that 120 we are paying no longer exists. We'll now be paying 350. It's so arbitrary.
That you can't really.
There must be a way to regulate that.
I'm not sure about that one.
But there should be. Okay, why can't we have a law that says that increments of rent should it be every year or every 2 years? And it should be this percentage of the rent. You don't have that.
So is the government, are they also keeping to terms when they are increasing the petrol price and all those things, which will in turn make the landlords to want to increase their rent?
You have flooded me.
So it goes both ways.
My hands are up. So it is a cost to be a tenant in Nigeria. The biggest prayer point you should have is, God, to please save me from the hands of landlord.
Being a tenant.
Or just go back to your village.
Make me a landlord.
The prices of properties have hit the roof in Lagos. What's responsible?
So
because of fuel.
My opinion is choose according to your pocket. There is a house for everybody.
Some people have been caught they've been caught pants down. You took an apartment last year. For the landlords who take 2 years, they're happy to take 1 year because towards the end of that 1 year,
they can increase.
Not that they can, they will.
They will increase.
What does the law say about increases? Nothing.
Nothing
directly.
Nothing. So it's anybody.
These are things I think are people
that should be.
Yes, you should. That's
be regulated.
That's what you have the House of Assembly for. Go start pushing your let them pay sweat for that Jeep that they use our money to buy. I heard congratulations to Lagos State House of Assembly members. I heard they just got a new set of Jeeps that they bought. But these are the things that you need to push them to do. They're supposed to protect the people.
True.
Now that your leadership, whatever, has been solved, you have a speaker, whether you like him or not. Let's push them now to make our environment easier for us to live in.
There is a lot.
It's important.
A lot the government is supposed to do. The housing deficit in Lagos, 28 million housing deficit. There are a lot of people that need accommodation.
Too many people.
You can't afford the independent developer or the independent landlord. That is where the government should build cost-effective houses.
I think
like the Jakonde estates and all of that should come up.
I don't think you'll be having much of that again.
Why?
Unfortunately. Over and above everything, the wastages that go out of the cookie jar with the kind of government that we run, there's very little funds left to do anything sensible. Imagine if this country had been under some kind of unitary rule, and you didn't have to buy vehicles for National Assembly, this one, that one, and so on. We could, and then we'll have enough resources to do some of these things. But a lot of the money is gone into governance, directly or indirectly. Those that we pay legitimately and those that are taken from the cookie jar. Sad situation. I think we have a caller. Yes, we do. Okay, let me take a caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Morning, Pastor Ladipo. You want to rent a house or you want to give out a house or what?
No, Uncle Jimmy, I'm also I'm a realtor.
So, you didn't tell me that.
Uncle Jimmy, you are supposed to be aware now.
I'm just supposed to be aware that how am I just supposed to be aware that
greetings, senior colleague.
You every time you say I'm Pastor Ladipo calling from Morile, next thing you say is that my take is you never say my take as a realtor. So how am I?
Okay, Uncle Jimmy.
So for always introduce yourself as realtor. Ladipo.
No, Uncle Jimmy, let's see. Uncle Jimmy, the reality is this.
Yes.
If we are going to get it right, I think it's the government themselves. Because if you even check the buildings they are building now, the structure the government themselves are constructing now is extremely high. Extremely high. And a lot of hidden charges here and there that you can't even see. It is when you have gone into it, then you will now know there are a lot of hidden charges. That is why most of their estates they've built, they can't get people to get them. So if we start from them, we can now move to the landlords and then those who are also renting those houses.
Okay.
Because they too have their own challenge.
Thank you very much, Ladipo. Do you want to react to him? I have a reaction
agree.
here, though.
I agree perfectly.
My good friend, Mr. Frank Nasegbe, says that government can't control rents unless they must provide affordable accommodation. He says that in K2, a room and parlor, there's one they call room and parlor, there's one they call room and parlor self. Which one is there any difference between the two?
Yes.
Which one is room and parlor self?
So a self-contained is just one room. That is where you have everything.
That's what they call self.
Yeah, then room and parlor is one bedroom.
Self.
Or mini flat. You call it mini flat or one bedroom, room and parlor.
So, but there's a difference between room and parlor self.
There's no self. Remove the self.
Maybe the self means that they also have toilets.
Self-contained. One room. This is a self-contained. Then you have your kitchen. Yes, this is a one. This is a self-con. Your toilets.
Wait, people should know the size of the studio. This is 2 rooms. They will divide it.
No, it's more. It's not by size. It's by the number. It's by the number.
They will break this into 2 rooms.
Let's leave that side.
We can't. We can't leave it.
This is a studio.
If you see what they call one room,
this is one room. This is a self-con. Then once you introduce another room, it becomes a mini flat or a one bedroom.
Is this a self-con self or is it self-con?
Why are you repeating self twice?
I don't know that.
It's self-con. Self-con.
Okay, then you have government can provide unless in case a room and parlor with conveniences goes for at least 800. I have a very good friend, Eddie. Eddie's been trying to get an apartment in Lagos for the past 3 months.
Let him contact me.
He will. But he's been discriminated against, and I'm sure you know why. Once I told you his name is Eddie, I don't need to give you his surname before you know that he's been discriminated against. So there are places he could have gotten, but every time he turns up and his surname occurs, I don't want to start any controversy.
Yes, I get.
But isn't that sad?
It is. I personally run away from briefs that has such clause.
Some people even, I've seen some people put it no more. They say no this. Some say they want only Indians. Some say no
even
this, no that.
Even realtors that promote such, I confront them because it doesn't make sense.
It's a problem.
So I personally I don't take such briefs. Once I see the clause, I take my hands off your house.
It shows a bit of who you are.
Personally, I take my hands. Then if I see any realtor or agent who markets such, and I know the person, I also tell them. I said, this is wrong.
What can we do to curtail?
We basically can't do anything. It's an individual problem. So boycott.
We could legislate against it and get. Actually, if we had a lot of these groups, unfortunately, these are the kind of things you need to do. Make an example of about 8-10 of them and sue them. When you sue them and they pay for damages and everybody will sit up, it's becoming a big problem. It's becoming a massive problem, not a big problem.
One way I would suggest is to boycott such houses.
In the days
from
of scarcity.
The agents, the realtors, boycott them. So once the landlord stays in the house alone,
yes,
I think probably they will have to learn.
I don't think that will work. I think there must be some laws that takes out discrimination.
Going back to the government.
That's what this House of Assembly people should be doing. We must make them pay for those jeeps. By the way, I want to put it on record that I'm very upset that 2 years into their tenure, they're buying Jeeps. I'm wondering what cars have they been using till date. I'm wondering why we can't give a token to our legislators to go buy their car. We have to draw from the treasury and go buy expensive SUVs. That's very upsetting. But that's the story for another day.
Cars that would have built estates.
I have to leave in another 2-3 minutes, so I want to pick this last call. Talking to you is very interesting. You must come back again. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Yes.
Mrs. Olawale from Aja.
Yes, quickly, ma.
Yeah, please. My concern is, what's the position of mortgage banks? I mean, to help the people. I mean, when people work, they look forward to having shelter over their head. Just like you said, the legislation, they should bring up something that can encourage, because you see these pension reforms also helped employees to save towards retirement. So I think there should be legislation that also encourages employees to get a good apartment, to secure one while they are still working, so that they will have somewhere to at retirement.
Okay, very quickly, because I have just about a minute.
It's available. So the federal government has a mortgage that it's
I think right
now for 20 years. You can pay up in 20 years.
Yeah.
So you just need to get into.
But they say there's an age limit that I can't. They say they can't give me mortgage because they don't know whether I live up to 90.
Yeah, they're right. I mean,
I'm a liver. What do you mean? I take exception.
That was a setup.
You walked right back into it.
I'm not saying that you.
My uncle just got a house based on mortgage, so it's available. It's late 40s.
That's 40s.
Late 40s.
They say I can't. We are talking.
So it's available. I think Lagosians or wherever you're listening to, it's available. Mortgage is available. So you just need to take advantage
Mrs.
of
Fasha,
it.
I know here many times, and I think she'll be back again. We got to go. Nice talking
it's a pleasure,
to you.
Sir.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Keep up what you're doing.
God bless you.
Because if anything at all, it got you here. And that's it. We are friends for life.
Thank you so much.
That's where we'll end it today. I hope Mr. Akinsoya is in town. He is the managing director. I need to know, is it Telfund or Melfund? I don't want to make Nelfund. I keep bringing him to the studio. He'll be here tomorrow to give a progress on how far people have gotten loans. If you're a student, please, I beg of you, don't stay back at home and say because your parents don't have the money. You can go take a loan, and have been made to understand you don't start paying back until you start working. So let's hope Mr. Akinsoya will be here tomorrow and we'll take it up from there. Thank you very much, sir. We are both going to Sulere.
Jimmy.
Sheriff,
it's a pleasure, sir.
How can a man be fasting and put on weight? Do you know?
It's the Lord's work.
It's the Lord's work.
Yes.
Okay. What's Up Lagos comes up next. See you again. Bye.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's